Welcome coaches, I'm John Renan. I'm the director of the Cherokee Impact Recreational Program. I produced this video along with Scott Burris, our field manager, to address three specific goals. Max field space for practices to ensure an even wear on the field, how to move and use goals during your practices, and field safe and clean. Let's start with planning your practices. Before starting your practice, take a walk around the field to look for any hazards which may cause player injuries. First rule, it's okay to play outside the lines.
Here we have a field that's set up for a training session to maximize the space and to spread out the wear on the fields. So over here we have good quality grass. This would be a great place for a warm-up. And then over here, bounded by the red cones that you can see here, orange cones, red cones, you can see here this is the best quality grass on here. This is where you do the most intense activity that you're going to do. And then here, bounded by the yellow cones, might be, let's say, a passing drill or something that's relatively light activity. And then over here with the small goals, which you see with the purple boundaries, you see the field's in decent shape there. Not awesome, but good enough to do this activity with our team spread out. Finally, between the red and the yellow, we are avoiding the worst spot on the field. And this is a spot where if we continue to play in here, this is going to turn into a hole, and your players are going to come in here and start kicking up holes and making it even worse. In this field setup here, we have outside the lines 26 feet to the fence. And you can see here that the goal is set up for a training session, not on any of the lines, maximizing the space in play, also allowing you to keep the field itself in better condition for the games. In this purple lined field set up for 1v1, you can see here that neither goal is on a line and that one of the goals is off the line close to the fence. We need to have about 5 to 10 feet behind that fence so that we have a chance for kids to decelerate in case they go into it. That's a fixed object, but you still have plenty of room to move that goal off the field. One of the most common complaints that coaches have is they don't have enough room to run their practice. And one of the reasons why is because they don't exploit the spaces beyond the lines. So you can see here with the yellow cones here that we are extending outside both end lines or sidelines to maximize the spaces available on this pitch for training.
While we know that soccer is played with goals, those goals are not essential for every practice. Virtually anything can be used as a goal, including backpacks, cones, corner flags, or even two adults. Goals are important, and if you're using one or two actual goals in your practice, then there are a few things for you to know and do.
This field is newly laid out for this season. You can see the goal box is perfectly in with the other grass, and it looks great. Over here, off to the side, is where the goal box was last season. You can tell that even though it's been dormant for months, it still has not recovered. So one of the most important things we want you to make sure you do is to move your goal out of the goal box to do your training so that you can have this kind of goal box to play in. So when the goal is back up against the fence and there's only you to do the moving of it, you notice here the coach is pushing the goal to the side right there, and as he does so, this is the wrong way to move it because it's causing flexing up at the top and down at each of the joints on the bottom as well. That can cause cracks and spreading of the separation of the two, and that is likely to cause the goal to fail. So this is the proper way to move the goal when it's just you doing it. And as a reminder, none of your children should be moving the goals. It should only be done by adults. It's better if there are multiple people to help. And you see I would just pick up one end and slide, pick up one end and slide, pick up one end and slide. When you're pushing the goal back against the fence and you have one or two more adults here, the proper way to do it is to push it back like a sled. Lift up a little bit on the front and the back is rounded and it'll slide just easy as pie.
After you do push your goal up against the fence, if you could just adjust it slightly from side to side so we can avoid these patches of dead grass that happens when goals are left in the same spot for long periods of time. After you do push your goal up against the fence, if you could just... We all want a great looking facility that's safe for our players and fans. Leaving trash on the sidelines after games can create hazards if the lawnmower cuts up the trash and sprays it out. It's easy for us to pick up, but it's difficult for our maintenance crew to do a good job